This hourly segment is sponsored by Garden Sense, airing Sundays 12 noon to 1 p.m.
One station making history every day.
Chicago, Chicago.
Now, Jake Hartford.
89 WLS.
And folks.
I come from Scranton, Pennsylvania.
Nine past 6. Welcome, everybody, to this edition of Awake with Jake, the best of Jake Hartford, right here on a Saturday morning. You know, when I was a kid, I thought convention delegates were just sign-waving idiots in silly hats and pins. But now that I'm an adult, I can see I was very perceptive as a kid. Wow. What a week it has been. When the Vice President of the United States looked the camera right in the eye, looked at me in the eye, and he said how they never bet against the American people. He was looking right at me because he knew I've bet against the American people. In the last Winter Olympics, I took the Canadian hockey team over the U.S. team. My heart's with the Americans, but my money was with the Canadians. That's where my head was. I'm guilty as charged. Now what? Who was betting against the American people? I didn't know there was such wagering. I was in Vegas last year, earlier this year. I don't remember seeing that on the sports boards. You know, American people minus 150. I didn't see that. I didn't know we can bet on that. You know, and this is not the direction I really wanted to go this morning, but it just hit me when the vice president said that. You know, he'll always be with the American people because they can do anything they want. We're all that stuff. And I'm thinking, but they can't get an ID. They can't get a photo ID. We could put the big deal on Mars, get pictures back from Mars. We can't get photo IDs for all our people. Why is that? And I know by just bringing that up, you're going to say, "Oh, Jake, you're a racist," because it's voter suppression. I'm just talking the idea of getting an ID. I'm just intrigued by that idea. Why we can't do that? The people are too old. The people are too poor. They don't know. They can't. what state was it? Was it Georgia? They'll come to your house and give you an ID. No charge. You just sit there, they take a picture, there's your ID. If you want to buy cigarettes, you need an ID. You want to buy liquor, you need an ID. And there's a supermarket chain in the Chicago area. Guys, I'm going to tell you this. Next time your wife goes to this chain, ask them to buy you some beer or any kind of liquor, wine, whatever. Because it doesn't matter how old you are, they will card you. So your wife, when she goes to buy you the beer, they're going to ask her for her ID. She's going to feel young again. Because she's going to think they think she's young. Just a tip. But you need an ID for that. You need an ID to fly. You not only need an ID to fly, if you take a bus, not a CTA bus, but just like a regular bus. You want to go from here to Cleveland. You get on what the bus line is nowadays. You need an ID. Yeah, they got security checks. You need an ID. A lot of the federal buildings you want to get into, you need an ID. But it's too tough for everybody. I don't know. What's the big deal? What's the big deal? If you get Medicare, do you need an ID for Medicare? Or do they just give it to you? Because if you don't need an ID to get Medicare, maybe that's why we have all that waste, fraud, and abuse. Because they just give it to anybody. I don't know how that's become this big political issue. Well, it's voter suppression. So, I have a real problem. I really think being able to vote is a big deal. And your vote should be sacred. And your vote should not be canceled by some guy who's voting 12 times somewhere. That's happened in Chicago. I don't know if you've read the papers over the years. I have this problem that, and I know we want everybody to vote, and the homeless people should vote, but I can't grasp the concept of going in to register to vote and giving the address of a sidewalk. Because I don't know how they send you your mail. You can go in and say, yeah, I live at the corner of Garvey and Lake Street. Not in the building. No, I don't. Whatever the corner is, the sidewalk, that's where I live. And they will give you a voter's card. I can't get around that concept. But if they give you a voter's card, okay, you're homeless, they give you a voter's card, at least have an ID that says sidewalk, Garvey and Lake, with your picture. Hey, and speaking of things today, if you're coming downtown, or if you're not coming downtown, now you may want to come downtown. Open Street Chicago is having a big deal today. State Street between Lake and Van Buren, which is the main part of the State Street, that's from the L to the L, will be closed today from 10 a.m. until 3 p.m. Yep. They are having all these good things you can do. Bring the kids, bring everybody. Bring the seniors, bring the grandparents. They're going to close the streets, and they're going to have all kind of activities, including REI rock climbing wall. Yep. You can test your strength on the REI portable rock climbing wall and then have your photo taken for free in front of the scenic backdrop. They're going to have a kids spot for ages 3 and up where kids can get active while playing these classic playground games. They're going to have jump rope, double dutch, hopscotch, freeze tag, red light, green light, and relay races. And if you do well at that, then maybe take the kids over to Michigan Ave. You have them cross against the red light. No, you can't do that. That's not part of it. It's just State Street. They're going to have an imagination playground. They're going to have 500 square foot movable playground that's going to have different elements like blocks, crates, carts, sands, and water for kids to do stuff in. And for everybody from 5 to 80, you'll be able to play Foursquare. Teach your kids the playground favorite. That's where players bounce the ball between squares in a series of quick rounds. Eliminated players leave the courts, and the remaining players move up to the next highest square. I don't remember that. I don't remember Foursquare. They're going to have different kind of races. They're going to have sack races, three-legged races. If any three-legged people are listening, come on down for that. They're going to have relay races and human tic-tac-toe. You're going to be able to test your skill with life-size tic-tac-toe game where people are the X's and O's. I wonder if there's going to be if you had a choice between being an X and an O, what would you rather be? They're going to have that. And then you're going to control where the people go. They're going to have a dunk tank. Now, they should have a dunk tank with aldermen in it. I'd pay for that. And they're going to have a people spot where you're going to be able to read a book, watch the actions, or take a nap. While you're sleeping, someone's going to go through your pocket to take your money. That's going to be the other activity. Pickpocket class. They're going to have yoga. And there's going to be a bike checkout. You can come down and get a bike for an hour for free. Although they may ask you for an ID to get one. Three-legged race on State Street. Today. Oh, that ought to be fun. We're having fun here. 591-8900 is the phone number. 619 back after this on 89 WLS.
News from across the country and around the world is moments away with an ABC News update on 89 WLS and WLSAM.com.
624. Awake with Jake. We're going to do sports right after the news at the bottom of the hour. Dr. Bob right before 7. I'll be here until 8 o'clock when Paul Bryant comes with Drive Chicago. Paul in Arlington Heights. Hey, Paul, what's up?
Well, good morning, Jake. Jake, you were mentioning about a three-legged race. You know who was very good at the three-legged race was Ralph Cramden. Remember that? He won the three-legged race at the Raccoon Picnic one year. Too bad we can't resurrect him and have him enter in the contest.
Man, I doubt if he has 3 legs left anymore.
And another thing you can do after all the fun activities are over is that you can get over to 190 North State Street, get in front of the WLS TV studios window and wave to the camera.
And make a fool of yourself like I do when I leave here every Saturday? Do you ever see me? Do you ever see me at 8 o'clock on their news?
No, I used to see at 5:30 the guy who used to have that lime green suit on, but I haven't seen him in a while.
Yeah, well.
Well, now, Jake, what do you know? As soon as the convention is over here in my neighborhood here in Arlington Heights, which was changed from the 10th district now to the 9th district, I see all these political signs going up for Jen Schakowsky. Now, back in the day, this was a bastion of republicanism over here. But what am I seeing? Jan Schakowsky signs. Not good. I hope my fellow Republicans will get some Tim Wolf signs up around here.
Wow, you're gonna enjoy her as your representative, there, Paul.
I mean, Jake, she is the worst representative I could ever want. Honest to goodness. When I hear her on the morning show on the weekdays, I mean, she just makes my blood boil. Now she's going to be my representative for another 2 more years. Oh, give me a break. I hope that doesn't come true.
You can always move.
Well, that's true. Yeah. Well, they'll just go and do more redistricting. Now, I want to say a happy birthday to someone, Jake, and now maybe you can tell me.
I don't like happy birthdays.
Well, do you ever hear a singer named Pink? A female singer named Pink?
Yeah.
Well, it's her 33rd birthday. Jake, I hate to say it, but I couldn't tell you one song that woman has done. But all I know is that when you go to the stores, you see these teenage girls and plastered on the back of their behinds the name Pink on the back. So I guess she must be good. But like I say, if you'd ask me what a song that Connie Francis did or maybe Rosemary Clooney, I'd be able to tell you. But Pink, I guess I'm getting a little bit too old for it, I guess.
Now, her big song, I think, was Street Festival.
Well,
yeah.
That's news to me.
All right.
One more happy birthday.
Why don't you get your own? Why don't you get your own show, Paul?
Sid Caesar.
Oh, geez, come on. Come on. We're going to have a live. You know, you talk about somebody, they got to be alive.
Well, he's still alive, apparently. He's 90 today.
All right, bye, Paul.
I actually did see him in person. Him with Imogene Coca back in the day when they had live theater here at Arlington Heights by the racetrack. I did get to meet the man. And, but like you say, he's probably half in the grave by now.
All right, take care, Paul.
All right, Jake, have a good weekend. Bye-bye.
Michael on the west side. Hey, Michael.
Hey, Jake.
Yes,
Good
sir.
to talk to you again. Last time we talked about Michelle Obama. Here we go on this one. I agree with you. They should have IDs for everybody who was never denied the right to vote. If you were denied the right to vote, you shouldn't have to have an ID.
How many people alive today you think have been denied the right to vote?
Well, we're talking about groups. We're talking about women and minorities. They were denied the right to vote. And Jake, man, you know, we got different views on politics. I love you, man. But, man, y'all having a hard time pumping up Romney.
I'm not pumping. Wait, but how is talking about an ID pumping up Romney?
The only reason that they did the voter ID is suppress minority turnout, Jake.
You know what? I don't know that. All I know.
Wow, you
hey, Michael,
don't know that.
Michael, do you care about your vote?
Yes, I do care about my vote.
Do you care? Do you care if somebody votes and they don't even exist or they've been dead?
I'd rather have that than to have somebody not be able to vote. I'd rather have that. I'd rather have the egg broken than not having somebody have an opportunity to vote.
But why can't we get an ID for everybody in this country?
So then here you go being a hypocrite again. So you want to tax people to vote now?
How am I taxing people? How am I? How am I? What if you get a free ID? Would you be against it then? If you got a free, Michael, Michael, if they came to your house and gave you a free ID, would you be against it then?
If they came to everybody's house and gave them a free ID, then I would not be against it.
Hey, do you need an ID to get Medicare?
I don't know.
To prove who you are?
To get Medicaid.
Well, do you think you should?
You probably do need an ID to get
How about
Medicare.
to get Social Security?
Probably do need an ID.
So what happens to those people? They don't get Social Security. They don't get Medicare because they don't get an ID.
But I know people. I agree with you. But I know people. I'm African American, and I know African American people right now. I mean, 20, 30 people who don't have IDs.
How do they buy liquor?
They don't. If you're 30 years old, they don't ask you for ID. And
there are stores that I mentioned earlier that card everybody. Doesn't matter if you're 90 years old.
But we just don't have those stores in our neighborhood.
How about if you want to take a bus trip somewhere? Could you do that?
Oh, I don't know. I've never rode on a bus somewhere.
Well, you need an ID for everything nowadays.
Okay. And
all right.
I agree with you. And then I got another point to
I got to go to the news, Michael.
Okay.
Next week.
Nice
Bye-bye.
talking to you again.
I'm a racist. Next time you go to the airport and the TSA wants your ID, call them a racist. 6:30, back to your calls. We'll have some sports and all right after this.